All right, what's going on, guys? Today we're watching UFC Fight Night, Allen versus RDR. I got RDR, but anyways, this week we had a bunch of losses, but I'm gonna show y'all the little mistakes that I made and show y'all how I can capitalize on them next time, next week's trades. So yeah, Monday, Tuesday were L's. It was stupid little mistakes. Wednesday was a valid loss. Thursday was a really good trade, and then I'll show y'all what I did on Friday, and I'll see y'all later. All right, what's going on, guys? This is week 8 of the trade recaps. I just woke up. Actually, no, I'm lying. I didn't just wake up. I woke up like an hour ago. So I ate breakfast, did my thing. What else did I do? Yeah, I'm about to just go over the trades, and I'm gonna go to the gym right now. But as in the first clip, as I told y'all, a lot of these trades were low-key stupid, very avoidable. But that's what these trade recaps are for: holding myself accountable, looking over the trades, and just really having someone to talk to, which is whoever's watching this through the screen. And I feel like that helps in a way, taking better setups. But it also helps if I do make mistakes, I realize them and I don't take them again and try to take better setups. So going into this day, we had Monday. Obviously, we sold off a lot from last week. Had this big old gap right here. We had all these levels marked out. I had more things marked out, but I'm just gonna give over the overview. We had a 4-hour fair value gap and a 15-minute intermediate low. I don't know why I didn't take it out. I believe it was something. It was one of the inverses that I just didn't like. We inversed this 1 minute, and even if I broke even, I think we had like a 2-minute round here. Let me go to the 2-minute real quick. Dude, this is what I hate about this. Gosh. So I believe we did. Yeah, we had a 2-minute right here. That's why whenever we're kind of in this range, I wasn't even like really trying to take anything. Didn't like the entry. There's probably a 30-second inverse around here, but yeah, that was that. So at this point, I'm pretty bullish. I'm like, at least we want to hit these highs. That's my thought process. Just because a lot of times with these ranges, all right, yeah, obviously we have like a whole 4-hour range or daily or whatever fair value gap it is, just a whole big range. A lot of times we don't just tend to just dip into it and then just drop all the way even lower. No, we kind of just make this movement, kind of just dip into again, drop, dip into again, drop, as y'all can see during this London and Asia session. So that was my thought process. I wanted to catch a little bit of some longs. Made a little bit of a mistake. So during this trade, we did have a 5-minute fair value gap and a 30-second inverse. I took it off of, but I didn't take it. I didn't put the stop loss at the swing low. Let me just stay on the 1 minute for now. I didn't put the stop loss at the swing low. I was kind of being dumb because a lot of times I have trouble like realizing, all right, when should I put the stop loss at the swing or the body at the swing low? So my friend told me, because he has he's better at taking these inverses. So I'm just just ask his opinion on it. And obviously he said whenever we have a big old wick, he tends to like put it at the wick, But obviously if we have a big old body and the body like let's say ended right here, this is where you would want to put the the stop loss if it had a body. But the fact that we had this big old wick, yeah. So this trade could have honestly been a break even, the trade that I'm on. So it could have just, if I put it at the swing low and then I would have broke even at a 2 or 3 minute around this level, or just break even again. Yeah, break it even at a 2 or 3 minute. And I ended up getting stopped out. Only lost like 200 on it. I re-entered off a 30-second inversion, I believe. Yeah, around this level. Re-entered. I was gonna break even at this high, broke even, and then I got stopped out. And then I realized, like, let me go back to the 5-minute. I realized my condition got invalidated. And also another thing, I shouldn't be re-entering off the same condition. Once I get stopped out and I'm out of the trade, I should just wait for another condition. If we have another 5-minute that we create later, around like if we have a leg right here, a 5-minute, and then target those highs again. It might be a shorter trade, but at least it's like, you're following your rules and you're just doing the right things. One thing that I learned, a lot of times you can take really good trades and still lose, but you can also take bad trades and still win. So long term, you want to be taking good trades, just because, like, yeah, you could break all your rules and still win, but at the end of the day, that's bad mentality. You're gonna end up like screwing yourself over even more later on. So, just word of advice, just always follow your rules. If you have a winning system, you have a set model that plays out most of the time, because no model is 100%. Just like the trade that I took on, no, Wednesday, yeah. Let's go over Tuesday now. Tuesday was a losing day too. Yeah, I lost Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. I won Thursday. Yeah. This day, what did I take Tuesday? If we would load. Yes, I was being dumb. This was pretty dumb. Was this the day with the 5 minute? Might have been. I'm going to the 5 minute real quick. Any day now, any day now. Okay, this is right here. If you see this trade right here, this is a projection play. I did not take this trade. I'll explain that right now. So on Tuesday, going into the day, I was pretty bullish, but I should have honestly just waited for price action to form. Also take the trade like damn near during market open, and that's something I never really do. So I shouldn't be like switch. What just happened? Did y'all just see that? What just happened? It just took away all the boxes that I've put on the charts. Oh my gosh. Dude, I'm tripping. I went to another Tuesday. Okay. I was about to say, man, yeah, usually I like chart up before doing these trade recaps. I put on like the projection so I don't have to like find these trades. About to say, man, that would have been annoying. But anyways, going into this day, we had this 5 minute condition right here we tapped into. Well, originally I took it off a 30-second inverse. I didn't mark out that projection play. I took it off a 30-second inverse, and I broke even, I believe, at this 5. Or like a smaller time frame fair value gap. And then I got break even on it. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to re-enter if we end up inversing this. We inversed it around like, basically, yeah, like market open. As soon as it got in, I got clapped on it. And then I realized, man, like, what are we drawing towards? We don't really have this is a rookie mistake. I can't be making rookie mistakes. I didn't really have a higher time frame condition. I believe there's no 15 or 1 hour in this range. And even if there was a 15, I also got to realize, where does price want to draw towards? Okay, we have this gap right here, and also past this line is a 4 hour imbalance. This is a strong draw. If anything, we're going to take out this low, be in this range, and then buying pressure is going to formulate. So whenever I saw this, I was like, yeah, if we're gonna have a trade, it's gonna be around this level. I don't know, I think I bought in projection play. We had a 2 minute inversion. That was the highest time frame leg off of this. I broke even around this level and swing high on the smaller time frame, and we had a fair value gap, and this trade would have been a banger if I took it, but I was already down like 250. I risked a lot. I shouldn't have risked. If I'm gonna risk like damn near all my capital, it needs to be A plus. Or I should just honestly, all my trades should be at least A rated setups. But that was a mistake. Wednesday, this was a good loss. I like this loss. We had obviously these highs right here that hadn't gotten taken out yet, and we are expecting to take them out. Honestly, we did have this higher time frame. Where is this? No, it's not an SMT. I'm tripping. Thought we had an SMT right here. Wednesday was right here, and then at the time price was right here. Yeah. The internal price action on Wednesday was definitely showing us, all right, we're definitely bullish, just because we ended up, if we're gonna go lower, we got to go higher, And the internal price action was showing us, we had at the time, I think 9 a.m. close. No, was it 9? I think it was on the Thursday. No, it was Thursday. We had at the time, we had a 15 and we had a 1 hour. I believe that we were on. I could just check real quick. Let me check Thursday. Thursday. Yeah, we have 1 hour right here on Wednesday. I don't know why I said Thursday. Wednesday. And then we had... No, yeah. So going to this thought process, the internal price action was definitely showing us bullish. We had like a 15-minute intermediate low. We had like, I didn't take it off of this one. I took it off of this one. 15-minute intermediate low. We had inversion out of this this trade. Oh my gosh. We had an inversion out of this trade. I believe off the 1 minute. It was a break even over here at the swing high. I got clapped. I got stopped out so fast, and I was just like, was this a good trade? It was indeed a good trade. We just wanted to go lower, you know. But this trade was definitely showing us like a good shape out of it. Good buying pressure. But then, boom, we got clapped. Boom. We hit the the lowest 15-minute unfilled. And I ended up honestly just not even taking this. I was already down 250 on the day. I risked a good amount of capital on it. So I only had like, because usually I'm only trying to risk 300 on the day. And I wasn't really trying to enter into just $50. But honestly, I should have just done it. It probably would have been just a one contract just to get into it. $50 stop loss. Actually, I don't know how much one contract would have been because this is around 100. If I got into one contract, my stop loss would be around right here. And then I could have probably made like around like 2 something. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Not really about the money. It's just really about like calculating and just risking a certain amount. But anyways, and following your rules. A-rated setups. Why not? But Thursday was a banger. I really like Thursdays. A lot of people didn't like it, but I liked it just because a lot of people that I know only trade NQ. I actually usually trade NQ and ES, so I prefer NQ entries. But a lot of times, if ES is presenting itself with something better, then I take ES. So right here we had this SMT, smaller time frame SMT. Yes, we had this bigger time frame SMT at the highs, with those big ranges. But internal price action was showing me longs, so this looked really good. At the time, obviously, like I said, we had the SMT. We took out this low. That would also be, I believe, London low, if I'm not mistaken. So at the time, we had I believe at 9 a.m. the candle closed at a certain point. Let me see where it closed. So past this candle right here, that's the dip of the 4-hour imbalance. You know what I mean? We created a 4-hour imbalance at the time, so it was giving me pretty good confirmation. Like, all right, we have a 4, and then also we have this at the time with this 15-minute intermediate low, I believe. And then after that, I was looking for inversions. I think the highest time frame was either a 1 or a 2 minute, if I'm not mistaken. So, boom, entered, broke even at the swing high, got stopped out, and then I realized, like, I'm still pretty confident in it going up, but I'm not going to re-enter just because there's no good entries. But then I realized, 5-minute imbalance right here, boom, we had a good condition. Boom, we had an inversion out of it. Boom, I entered, and then, boom, I hit TP. That was a really good trade. Wasn't even in drawdown for this trade. Actually, no. A little bit. I was just in there, and then boom. Even this trade, I was not even really in drawdown. Like, both of these trades were really good. A-rated setups. So that was that. So at this point, I'm like only down like 300 on the week. So I'm not gonna lie, Friday I kind of forced a trade just because I was like, man, I really want to be at least break even on the week. But no, that in a way it kind of messed my psychology and messed me up. But I'm not really trying to use this as an excuse. It's just how it went, and I need to just be better on that and just be okay with not trading, and just, it's better to just not take a trade on a Friday and then just trying to force something and then end up losing even more and being down even more on the week when you're originally down a certain amount. I think I'm down like 600 on the week, which isn't crazy bad, but it's like, to me, it's not ideal. Who wants to be down on a week? But so at this point, I was definitely like just bullish. Like, we had like this, I feel like we were just on this buy side of the curve. We kept inversing 1 hours. We're on this 4-hour, but honestly, I wasn't really tripping out with the 4-hour just because we had this other 4-hour on us, like over here at this level. So I honestly expected it to just keep going up. So during market open, I was honestly expecting us to just take out this one, like go into this 1 hour and then go a little lower, go into this 15, and then potentially take a long off of this. But you know, that's not what happened. So I just stayed off the trade. At this point, we had this 5 minute condition for the continuation. Yes, we were on this 4 hour, but honestly, I just expected us to just, if we're gonna keep continuing, it's gonna show us strong momentum with this. Like it, if we were bearish, we would not be like formulating this, like rejecting this fair value gap and then inversing like smaller time frame fair value gaps to keep continuing. And I was right. Yeah, it did it in a way, but we had a 30-second inversion. I broke even at the 2 minute. And if honestly we had another 2 minute around this, we did have another 2 minute on this leg. And if I noticed the 2 minute, I would have realized, like, honestly, I'm just going to I'm going to take it away from the stop loss and I reduce it to like a smaller loss around this level. Just because we have a new, like, stronger inverse fair value gap. So, like, yeah, like, we have more level, like, more confirmation to keep going higher, not just a 30-second inversion. So I would have took it out for break even and put it in, like, still at a loss, but not as big. So we ended up hitting break even. It hit my TP right after, very unfortunate. But realistically, after the 2 minute got inversed, I should have just, broke even again. At this swing high, and probably targeted New York PM, or just honestly just leave the trade as it is and just let it hit TP. This was a forced entry. At this point, we're in the middle of the 4 hour range, and like this has to be a really good setup for me to take it. And honestly, this wasn't a really good setup just because, yes, we did have a 5 minute condition. Yes, we had an inversion out of it, but the inversion was so sloppy and it was taking forever. So when it comes to these inversions, it's not ideal to take them just because it's chopping. It's taking a long time to do the thing it's supposed to do. If we want to go up, it's gonna give us a clean move up. So that I messed up on. That was dumb. So that was unfortunate, but I can't be doing things like that. See? All the things that I'm telling y'all over the week that I messed up on, they're small little mistakes. Like, first of all, like not taking a sloppy like entry like this, or not taking a trade on market open, or not taking a trade on I forgot what Monday was. What the little mistake was. It's just little mistakes that I know if I work on them, like my win rate's gonna drastically improve and eventually make me profitable. But these are just little things to work on, and yeah. Gosh, my phone's going on. Yeah, that's basically it, honestly. So, hopefully next week's a good week. Stay disciplined, follow y'all's rules, and yeah, I'm signing out.